Hello guys and welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be discussing about the top 9 questions about the Saudi Premium Residency. So here we have Syed from the Dar Global, and he's here to explain us about a few questions that I've already prepared. And in fact, we made a video just a few days ago with Syed regarding the Trump Tower. So I do highly recommend, if you are interested in Saudi freehold investment, then you can click on the link above. This will explain everything about the Trump Tower, which is located in Jeddah. So Syed, thank you for coming in to explain about the premium residency. So let's start with what is premium residency, because this has been shown a lot of interest in Saudi Arabia, and they've already started with the freehold properties like Trump Tower. And now they've introduced this new scheme of premium residency. What is it?
Sure. Thank you so much, Zeenat. Well, we all know that Saudi is now opening its doors to investors like never before, right? We know that they have the 2030 Expo coming up and the 2034 World Cup coming up there as well. And in line with the country's vision to encourage foreign investment, they've opened something called the premium residency. The premium residency allows foreigners to live, work, and invest in Saudi Arabia by investing through real estate. Now, for our topic, of course, we're going to keep it specific to the real estate side of things. But yes, there is now premium residency available for people who are looking to invest in real estate.
The second question I have here is, who qualifies for the premium residency?
So that's a very good question as well, because we get asked this. This is probably the most common question. Exactly. So in order to be eligible for the premium residency, an applicant must be at least 21 years of age. They must have an investment portfolio in real estate of over 4 million Saudi riyals, or at least 4 million Saudi riyals, I should say. This valuation has to be done by the Saudi authorities, so it has to be appraised by the Saudi authorities. Now, when I say portfolio of investment, it means that it's not just tied to a single property investment. They can have multiple properties invested in, which combine to a minimum amount of 4 million Saudi riyals in order for them to be eligible to apply for premium residency. In addition to this, there are a few more conditions that need to be in place. Their property has to be a completed property, so it cannot be an off-plan project. People who are investing in off-plan projects need to understand that it's only when their project is completely handed over to them, that's when they'll be able to apply for premium residency. On top of that, they also need to make sure that there's no mortgages or real estate financing tied to the property. So it has to be clear of any sort of debt in order for them to apply for the premium residency.
Okay, then my question would be, if it was a 6 million Saudi riyals property and he has paid the 4 million, will he be able to apply for the premium residency?
So you mean if he still has 2 million to pay?
Yes, and he's already paid the bare minimum amount.
This will come down to a few different things. Has the property been completed, right?
Right, so it has to be completed.
It has to be completed and handed over. And the remaining 2 million, will it be considered as real estate financing, right? Depending on the situation. Exactly. So this is again depending on the case-to-case basis.
Right. Okay. So my third question to you is, what are the requirements for real estate investment under premium residency?
So in terms of requirements, as I just mentioned, firstly, it has to be, the age criteria is there, 21 years of age.
Right.
It has to be in a residential unit. It cannot be a commercial property that they've invested in. There's no limitation in terms of nationalities. They're very flexible in this regard.
So any nationality can own a property in a freehold property in Saudi Arabia.
Exactly.
So long as they pay the 4 million and above Saudi riyals, then they will be able to. There's no issue about nationality here.
And one of the points when we talk about investing in off-plan units, right? One of the advantages is, for example, if they've invested 3.5 million Saudi riyals, for example, right now, right? Their property is only going to be valued when it's completed, right? So even by investing, suppose something like 3.5 or 3.7, they might actually, because of the appreciation of the value by the time the project is complete, they might be eligible for the premium residency as long as it crosses 4 million.
I'm very optimistic about the Saudi real estate. So let's put an example of, let's say, a 2 million Saudi riyal property, and by the time it's handed over, let's say the valuation comes up to 4 million. So then the officials will be able to allow him to apply
100%,
for that.
100%. So it's the valuation when it's completely handed over to them. When they're applying, the valuation to get at that stage is what counts, rather than the amount that they've paid.
Right, that's something we don't have here in the United Arab Emirates. So that's definitely a very unique point that you have. So my fourth question to you is, can I get premium residency by investing in commercial real estate? I think you've already answered that question, which is not possible. That is only applicable for residential freehold properties only. Fifth question is, how long does premium residency last if I invest in real estate?
So that's, again, a very good question, because your premium residency will always be tied to the ownership of your property. So as long as your property is over 4 million Saudi riyals, you'll be able to renew your premium residency for a lifetime.
Unlimited. Okay.
Exactly.
And what if I sell the property after I have obtained the premium residency?
You will no longer be eligible for premium residency.
Sixth question here is, can I sponsor my family with premium residency through real estate investment, and to whom?
Okay. Again, very important question. You're able to, of course, sponsor your wife, multiple spouses as well. You're able to sponsor your children above, sorry, because you're laughing.
Sorry, I know it's because more than one wife, so if he has 2-3 wives, then he will be able to give that.
Exactly. So he'll be able to sponsor multiple wives as well. Children under the age of 25, they'll be able to sponsor them as well. They can sponsor parents and children above the age of 25, but this is subject to a few factors, right? They have to prove that their dependency is on them, right? So the parents have to be proven as financially dependent and dependent in other ways if they are on the applicant. So in those cases, they can apply for their parents as well, but this is again subject to approval and subject to proving financial dependency.
Right, so you can give it to your spouse, number of spouses, your children, and your parents. That's subjective. Your siblings, you don't, right?
No, siblings is still...
Siblings and grandfather, grandmother.
Siblings and grandparents and other dependents, to be honest, is still a gray area. But there is word that they might be able to do this if, again, there's financial dependency or other dependency proven. But this is, again, subject to approval, and it's still a gray area, so it's something that
and rules keeps changing. So as we speak of today, that's applicable to your spouse, your children, and to your parents. My seventh question is, are there any tax benefits for premium residency holders who invest in real estate?
So in this regard, we know how tax-friendly Saudi Arabia is, right? And they've continued, their laws are very, very friendly in terms of supporting investments. So even though there's no special considerations for people with premium residencies, the laws in Saudi Arabia itself, especially when you've invested in real estate, are very, very favorable because there's no corporate taxation, there's no taxation on capital gain.
They want people to come into the country and invest, so they wouldn't put any taxes.
Absolutely.
And even in UAE, as we speak, we don't have any taxes on the residency.
Exactly.
Okay, so my eighth question is, what types of real estate properties are best for securing premium residency?
Okay, so I've mentioned before that the net value of your portfolio of assets in terms of real estate has to be at least 4 million Saudi riyals. Now this is spread across a variety of residential units. It could be, right? You can either have it through one unit, you can either have it through multiple units, and this could be anything from luxury villas to apartments. Anything residential can be included within this itself.
So long as it comes under the residence.
Absolutely.
Okay. It's no commercial, so that's villas, apartments, hotel apartments.
Absolutely. As long as it's not considered a commercial property, they're fine.
Right, okay. So my ninth and my last question for today is, can I renew my premium residency after investing in real estate? I guess you've already answered that question, but please go ahead and explain it again.
Sure, no worries at all. So as I mentioned before, the premium residency is tied to the ownership of the property as long as the property is meeting the criteria that we mentioned before. So 4 million Saudi riyals, making sure that it's a completed project and there's no financial risk or credit applied, mortgage applied to the property itself, right? So as long as you're meeting that criteria, this residency is renewable for life.
All right, so now we have come to the end of the video. Syed, thank you very much for explaining all the points very clearly. So if you are interested in investing in Saudi freehold real estate, then I've already made a video, as I mentioned at the start of the video, the Trump Tower. These are branded residences, branded apartments. And apart from the Trump Tower, I believe, Syed, we do have the branded villas. So if you can, just a few words about this.
Yes, sure, absolutely. So we have a wonderful project in Riyadh as well. These are 5-bedroom villas. It's called Neptune, and it's in partnership with a luxury jewelry brand called Muawad. Outstanding project in an upcoming community in Riyadh called Sidra. Those who are in Riyadh will be familiar with that, and those who are familiar with the Saudi market would know that as well. It's again very close to where the Expo site will be in 2030, so it is an exciting project. And again, it's a branded property, so we know that the finishing and everything else in this project will be absolutely premium quality.
I'm sure. All right, great. So guys, if you are interested, then all you've got to do is get in touch with me, call or WhatsApp me, and I'll be able to assist you. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.